are you talking about?
That I texted you on your phone.
Sorry, you sent me a text message to my mobile phone.
Yeah. Oh, no, I didn't hit send. I created it. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Oh, I already hit record. Good, we have that for posterity. Welcome back to Chasing Brighter, the podcast created as a guide to living brighter, more connected, and real. Because this season, we are choosing real over perfect.
And don't forget to check out our latest blog posts and sneak peeks. Sign up for our newsletter at chasingbrighter.com/newsletter. Hi, Jess.
Hi, Kelly. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Did you know that the Oscars are coming up?
No.
It's this weird thing where, like, when we were younger, there was nothing else on television. And so you just watch those things. And that was always a fun one to watch.
Yeah.
It will be, it's coming in mid-March. And I always get lost in when this is happening because there's all kinds, there's People's Choice, there's all the things. But did you ever go, it's been a while, but going to an Oscar party or watching all the Oscars?
No, I had one time with Stephanie a million years ago.
There are always there's always some movies that everyone's talking about.
Yeah.
And I really feel kind of out of the loop on this.
Yeah.
How about you? Have you watched any?
It's like I love movies. I used to love movies even more, but because it's probably because it's been so long since I've seen any of the movies that they're talking about that I just don't care. Does that sound terrible?
No, it's not. But I haven't seen a lot of the movies, and there are a couple I'd like to see. I would like to see Hamnet. Did you read that book?
No.
Hamnet?
Everyone's saying that's amazing.
Beckett's fourth and fifth grade teachers, best friend is the writer Maggie O'Fallon, who wrote the book that the movie is based on.
Okay.
Did you see? I'm just looking at the list of movies.
Okay.
I saw Frankenstein.
The answer is going to be no.
You've never seen any of these things.
I'm going to look it up, and I guarantee the answer is going to be no.
It's really cool because it's Benicio del Toro's
I want to watch Sinners really, really bad because I saw, if we talk about what we're watching or whatever, I love the show on Netflix, David Letterman's, and it's My Next Guest Needs No Introduction.
Yeah.
And he had Michael B. Jordan on there, and Michael B. Jordan talked about, I believe that is it produced, directed, or written by Ryan
You know
Coogler?
what? That is a really great point. Yes.
He loves
really good.
Ryan Coogler. He trusts him and will do any projects with them. And so Sinners, they were showing it. I'm like, that looks really great. And if I look, so just what I'm saying really quick for Best Picture, The Secret Agent, Marty Supreme, F1, Frankenstein. Literally, if I would not have seen Michael B. Jordan on Sinners, no idea about any of these movies. Obviously, Brad Pitt, I saw a poster of that, but nothing for me. It all means nothing. I'm trying to think. Nothing. Nope. Look, maybe is there an animation? Best animated?
I would like to see...
Nothing.
You haven't even seen those? I would like to see F1. I need to see Hamnet. I don't know anything about Marty Supreme, but everyone's talking about it. I really want to watch One Battle After Another. It's supposed to be amazing. I haven't seen it.
Yeah. I don't have enough darn time.
I haven't seen many of these.
So Gabby was talking to me. Kelly, if you want your heart ripped out of your body, read Emily Henry's Last Letter.
And we were, when you say things like that, no, but you say something that's never going to be on my list.
Okay, because I thought this was romance, but what I was going to say about it is when I finished reading it, I was crying hysterically, and I go to tell Gabby I was crying because I was like, I'm reading this really great book, and then I finished it that night, and then I went crying to her. And so we were talking about how I can't watch, if that were a movie, I would never watch it, but if it were a book, I'd read it. Is that weird? Does that make sense? I think we've talked about this before, but anyways, I can read anything But to have the visual of a movie, no, thank you. Is
Okay,
that?
which is the book you're talking about that I need to
I
take
thought
off
it
my
was The
list?
Last Letter.
Okay. I don't know that one.
No, Rebecca Yarros. Rebecca Yarros, who wrote Fourth Wing.
Oh.
That's why it was
Oh.
Rebecca Yarros.
Okay.
The Last Letter, Kelly. And now I'm an idiot because it says revealing a devastating family secret. Well, excuse me. I did not. I like Fourth Wing. Click, on my queue.
Yeah.
I've talked before, listeners, how I do like very little. I just am like clicking buttons. So anyway, all of these movies are, I don't know. And also maybe the nature of my job being dramatic. Like I specialize in trauma. And so all day long it's trauma and so I remember when I know I talked this before when I was young and Netflix first came out and Justin and I were getting all these DVDs mailed to us. And I was like, I watched like Born in a Brothel. I was watching all these documentaries. I was like, Mom. And Mom was like, I'm sorry, but I just want to watch something fun where I don't have to think that has no social redeeming values. And I remember thinking like, oh, like I'm so educated and our mom is so whatever. And now I'm like that. I'm just like, I just want to watch something that's pure entertainment and I don't want to cry or think.
Well, but some of those movies maybe are, but I think the other part too is that as you go through different times of the year and different things, everyone sort of evolves in terms of that. I think what's interesting about it is that pop culture has really evolved, that there's so much going on all the time.
Yeah.
That where we had no other choice but to watch the Oscars, and therefore, and also we went to the movies.
We have
right?
so many more
Because there was no
choices.
streaming. There's so many more choices, and it's so different. And it's almost like maybe the Oscars kind of turned into more of like a film enthusiast type of cultural following rather than everybody watches it.
But a lot of people talk about it being rigged and who gets nominated and who, like for a million years, there's very few people in the industry of color, very few, women directed and produced movies. So already I feel like it's rigged on what is brought to us anyway. Just like when you said you went to a used bookstore, you got this random book and it was so incredible. It's like, unless people have the money to, to have this machine to bring that title to you, you wouldn't know. And so I think we used to think the Oscar nominated movies were the best movies ever. And now it's like we can do the research ourselves and we can find so many other things that I don't need the Oscars to tell me what's good. What about that?
I think that's really a great point. I believe it's the last couple of years. I don't remember who won because I'm not great at that. But whoever won, a lot of people really focused on being independent filmmakers. And that is also kind of where some of these big movie houses just make these huge blockbusters.
Right.
It was like, because Tom Cruise and Mission Impossible and stuff, it's like these huge productions that cost millions of dollars and get tons of people showing up at the movie theater for, versus these small guys who don't have the big funds and still get the recognition. And so it really was about thinking about those independent filmmakers and how to support them. It goes back to like supporting smaller businesses rather than like going to big box retailers or big brands versus small brands kind of thing,
And we know now, just because something was nominated for an Oscar doesn't mean that's the best, right? It's already like, I don't know, there's a certain amount of things that are curated for us.
Correct. The other thing I will say, and tell me if I'm missing something here, but for the most part, if there's a book that you read that you loved, you would go see the movie of it.
Yes. So if The Last Letter, which is probably going to be a movie, probably, I'll go watch it, but I'll just be angry.
And I do like read, but do you read, when you read a book, do you imagine it as a movie sometimes?
All the time.
Or like think about, me too. I think about some of the books I read and I was like, wow, that would be an amazing movie. And I just think about how what plays out in my head. I finished Wuthering Heights, by the way, and I haven't seen the movie yet. And so that is going to be on my list of movies to see because I want to know how they convert. I think there's been a lot of other, I'm sure there have been tons of remakes of
this
it.
is going to make people so horrified. Like, Jessica, do you have any class or taste? So when I choose, we love movie night. at our home.
Yes.
And when you have teenagers, but then you have like an 11-year-old, it's like, what do you watch? Right?
Yeah.
Because they don't want to watch anything animated. We just saw the movie. I didn't even, just as it was in the theaters, and I remember Anaconda with Paul Rudd and Jack Black.
Oh,
Did you
how
watch
is
it?
that? I know, but I
Okay.
saw that there's like
So
a
I
remake out.
saw a trailer and Giovanni was like, that looks like Jumanji meets Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. And we were watching it and AJ was over as well, my daughter's boyfriend. And he, in the middle of the movie, goes, this is like Jumanji if Jumanji and Jurassic World had a baby. And so there was one, I actually liked the first Anaconda. I'd have to watch it again with J-Lo and
Yeah.
Ice
And
Cube
wasn't Samuel
and
L.
John
Jackson
Voight.
in it?
John Voight.
Or I'm thinking of Snakes on a Plane. That's why. Okay.
There was a snake
Okay.
in it. I was trying to, sorry, I'm a special
I
girl.
want to see. I did like the original movie with J-Lo.
And Owen
I mean,
Wilson
it wasn't
and Eric Stoltz. A whole bunch of people were in
okay.
it. But they were, anyway, they remake Anaconda and it's so, like, you have to know it's dumb, right? It's so funny. Jack Black, Paul Rudd, whatever. So I have to find a movie that's PG-13 or lower that will keep an 11-year-old, a 15-year-old, a 17-year-old, right, and two 40-year-olds entertained. And so that, if you want a funny, if you loved, like, Giovanni loves Jumanji. Oh my gosh, we love Kevin Hart, the new Jumanjis. And so he likes to watch those. It makes him laugh so hard. So
those are great. And we have watched those. We actually watched Ford versus Ferrari recently, but we're car people. And anyway, it was very interesting because it was based
so good with Matt Damon.
Good.
It was so good. I bought the book, but I didn't read it. It's based on a book.
I didn't. Yeah, there's a lot I didn't know about it.
So good.
And so, yeah, it was very fascinating. And I ended up kind of leaning into
Lee Iacocca. That was a name that was really big when you were young. And then you're like,
he wrote
that's what everyone's talking about.
an autobiography or a memoir. And yeah, it was fascinating how that all played out. And even just knowing Shelby America just launched the Shelby Cobra for the first time in a long time last year. And so it's cool that company
I don't want to give
endures.
away. Can I do a spoiler with that movie, or do people, it's so old. Tough people. It's spoiler alert if you want to watch it. That guy freaking died
2 months later.
Yes.
Well, the other thing I didn't know was that he never, like, he had won. There's the Triple Crown of racing, and he had won at the time that the Le Mans would have been his final to win the Triple Crown, which very few people have won. And because of Bruce McLaren, like, jumped ahead of him at the end, he didn't get the win credit. And, like, he goes down as one of the greatest drivers in history, but he truly doesn't get the props because he basically got screwed out of. I couldn't believe. I mean, it's like you think about how heartless and greedy people are in today's world. It's always been there. It's always been there.
For sure.
Yeah, that part was crazy.
I would say another movie I watched recently, which was so cute. It's actually like 2020 movie, Mr. Malcolm's List. So I love Bridgerton, which I should read the Bridgerton books, but I love Bridgerton. Do you watch Bridgerton?
Me too. Oh, yes.
Okay.
I love
Mr.
Bridgerton.
Malcolm's List popped up, and here's what I love about the vibe about this, and this is why you and I love Shonda Rhimes.
This is a show?
Movie.
Okay.
And it's this guy, Mr. Malcolm. This is what the trailer showed me. Mr. Malcolm, and it's in the 1800s England, and he has this list, and women have to meet all the things of the list. And he, like, rebuffed this woman, and she found out he had a list. And so she, like, tells her best friend, like, hey, I want you to, like, pretend to like him, and then we're going to say, we have a list, haha. So that was what the trailer showed me. And here's what one of the things I love about it. Like Bridgerton, all of the characters are all different ethnicities and races. And I love that. I love that Bridgerton does that.
I absolutely love it.
Who cares? Like, who cares? It doesn't have to, like, I don't know, because that's what our world is like. Our world is all different. Like, I was even looking at my Pilates, like, there's all different, there's young and old and different races and, like, that's what we see every day, you know?
Absolutely.
So, I
Absolutely.
loved that about it. I thought it was really cute. I quite enjoyed it, and it was also, like, Giovanni came in at the end to watch it. It was all, I believe,
PG,
like, appropriate. Like, I mean, it's
PGS.
1800s, they can't kiss or hold hands or do anything. Like, it wasn't they don't
I
curse,
just love that parts
so
of Bridgerton where they can like exude such like an intimate feeling without
and
just with the kiss of a hand
well, and
or
it's
whatever
all
it is,
about
it's cool.
marriage. And so Giovanni was like asking questions, and I go, well, women, like, if you didn't get married, you couldn't have anything. You couldn't have property. You couldn't have this and this. And he was just like, what? And I was like, yeah, that's what you had to do. You had to marry well. And so it was funny that he was just because, it's like, why is everyone obsessed with being married? So I liked those. Any other movies or shows you were watching you want to give a shout out to?
I love Bridgerton and I switched over to I'm actually in the process of binging Slow Horses, which is Gary Oldman is a
Mm.
kind of relegated to the B team of an MI5 group. And
Mm.
it actually is I just discovered it. It's got like 5 or 6 seasons, so it's been around.
Yeah.
It came out before, COVID or during COVID.
Yeah.
But, his acting is so incredible, and didn't I knew of him. I remember Interview with a
Mm-hmm.
Vampire and a couple other movies he was in, but I ended up kind of leaning into him. Like, the one thing I think is cool lately is that you can it's like you discover something you didn't know, and, like, you can just, like, totally
Yeah.
immerse yourself. Like the
Yeah.
Ford versus Ferrari, right? You start leaning into who are these people and
Right.
how did this happen? And anyway, kind of like the Slow Horses piece with him is
Yeah.
really it's his kind of crowning final show. And
Yeah.
he had an interview with Colbert about like how he got onto that show. But it's an amazing show. It's really
Yeah.
funny, crazy dry humor. But serious, just I don't watch a lot of comedy. That's where you and I are very different, right? You like to kind of have those laughable moments. I like
Yes.
serious dramas.
Okay. So I love just to shout out that are older shows. I've been watching Victoria, but it's only 3 seasons, so I'm very slow watching Victoria. I've been watching The Closer, which is like 7 seasons.
Yes.
And I've
Okay.
been watching High Potential, which I absolutely love.
Oh, it's so
But
cute.
the
Yes, I
new one
love
that
that
Justin
one.
and I discovered, and I think you'll love it, reminds me of childhood. Did you remember Night Court? Mom and Dad loved Night
Yeah.
Court. And did you
Yes.
see there's a
I
reboot?
did. I don't know if I
So
watched it.
and
Okay.
also, like, more diversity. This Night Court has much more diversity, the original Night Court. But Kelly, I was like, whatever. And then we really enjoy it. Oh,
Okay.
St. Dennis, St. Dennis Hospital.
Yeah.
So
That's
Justin and I
funny.
didn't like the first episode. And then you know how you're just like, oh, what's on TV? And we watched it. And then we're like, oh, it's like you have to watch past the pilot sometimes. And then even
Yes.
Dominic was like, oh, I was bored. And I started watching it. What episode are you on? And then he wanted to tell me play by play. He thought it was so funny. And so also something you can watch with the family, right? So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one. And the other thing too about some of those is really what we need is just a 30-minute pop, right? A 30-minute sometimes
Yes.
just like a show to
Yeah.
watch. If
Yes.
hopefully many of you have watched Bridgerton
Yeah.
because it's so good. The other thing too that I watched and I need to go back to, Jess, and I don't know if you watched it, is also the chick from Ford versus Ken Miles's wife on Ford versus Ferrari is the woman from Outlander. But do you know that it's the Outlander final season right now?
Oh, I know people said so what happens, it takes forever between seasons. And so I was waiting to see what happened because I'm on season 3, I think.
I think
I
I
think I'm
paused
on
on season
season
2,
3.
so I need to go back.
But, it's so intense. There's like season 1 is just like rape every other episode. So I needed to do like a 2-month recovery. I should read the books. And it's so
I read the
funny
first 2 books.
we started this episode and you might be like, ooh, let me get my popcorn and hear about the Oscars. That was a big fail. We don't know about the Oscars. We don't know the shows. And we don't really follow the Oscars. So it's more about what do you say? What would you say, Kelly? Right? Books and what we're streaming?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
But I
Always
also,
back to
if
the
you
books.
feel like you're missing out on the Oscars, we're right there with you. We
Yeah.
don't feel
We don't
like
know what's
just
happening.
forgive yourself, watch what you want to watch,
Yeah.
and move on.
Yeah, and thank you so much for listening. If you want to read our blog or find out more about us, you can sign up for our newsletter. Visit us at chasingbetter.com/newsletter.
And if you want to see what we're up to and all kinds of other fun things we're talking about, check us out on socials at Chasing Brighter.
Have a great day.